Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. Rated R. Exclusively in movie theaters November 24th.
Hello, this is Big Bash, and this is my short, spoiler-free review of Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. Let's talk accuracy. In short, this movie threw a dart at the dartboard, and the dart at least hit, but it hit on the far edge. Which is to say, it tries, but it's still off the mark. The choice to combine Resident Evil 1 and 2 into a single narrative means both suffer, though Resident Evil 1's story receives the brunt of the damage. The movie just doesn't thread the needle here. Character arcs are compacted or non-existent, the pacing is off, and the movie starts leaping around towards the final third in order to make it to the end. There's a lot of forward momentum, but it leads into an unfulfilling, messy end. Character depictions run the gamut. While none have a competent arc, some are at least a close approximation to the characters. Still, there are major alterations to core personality traits. Ranking them off the top of my head, Kea Scodelario Claire Redfield is the clear leading character with the most runtime, though you'll find her version of Claire colder and edgier, lacking the warmth and pure heroism classic depictions have. She's still the strongest depicted character, however. Robbie Amel's Chris Redfield is likewise a decent depiction, but similarly to Claire, one of his core attributes is flipped. This seems to be a trend with the movie. Avin Jogia's Leon Kennedy has half a character arc, starting strong but given almost no chance to develop. As for the rest of the characters, they're bordering on unrecognizable. Tom Hopper's Albert Wesker is more akin to a Barry Burton-Albert Wesker merge, a sort of proto-Wesker still coming into his own. Hannah John Kamen's Jill Valentine is simply not given enough screen time or lines, and doesn't appear to have much in common with Resident Evil 1's Jill. The rest of the cast are barely worth mentioning. Chief Irons is entertaining, but entirely different. William Birkin is one note, and if you're a fan of Annette or Sherry, you're in for a bad time. Worth mentioning is Lisa Trevor. Her depiction is perfect, and I love the way the movie adapted her story, cleverly maintaining the thematic role of Lisa, even if the context is entirely different. But the movie's final decision regarding Lisa Trevor is so bad, it negates the entire thing. Let's talk effects and sets. I was impressed with the look of the locales, the use of practical effects, particularly on the zombies and on Lisa Trevor, and the visual references to the game. The movie has a superb atmosphere. Speaking of references, the movie sprinkles them in often, and while it's nice to have such fan service sometimes, it doesn't make up for the poor narrative. If you're here for a creature feature though, you're out of luck. Although Mr. X was one of the biggest memes when Resident Evil 2's remake hit the scene, one of the most well-known characters and enemies, he's been left out entirely. To me, that sounds like a failure to read the room, and a critical mistake when adapting anything close to Resident Evil 2. Overall, it's a 5.5 out of 10. A flawed, slightly below average film that never quite hits rock bottom but doesn't ever soar. It never angered me or pissed me off, but it didn't provide me with much more than dumb fun. I think it's quite watchable, as long as you don't take it too seriously. I consider it a good start to a franchise, though I can't help but wish this was simply a Resident Evil 2 movie. Sadly, its cheap budget, strange marketing, and terrible release date means I doubt we're seeing a sequel or seeing any kind of follow-up. At this point, I think it's clear Capcom needs to move on from Constantine films if possible.